Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Alright, guys, we're going to start off here with the indices. We got some of the big boys to cover. Then we got chips, and then we can go over some Bitcoin and some trade ideas. Let's start off here with QQQ. That is where the focus is. That's where the party's at right now, guys. To the downside. Over here on QQQ, I am just going to jump right over here to the 4-hour time frame, put this on extended hours right there. I'm going to point out the 4-hour RSI, guys, is oversold. This, guys, technically speaking, we should be looking for buyers to start stepping in. These are just oversold readings that I'm going to show you a lot throughout this video. We're going to try and do it as quick as possible because we got a lot to go through. But a lot of things are looking exactly like this down here. And you're coming right into, a major spot over here. The weekly time frame, okay, 486.86 was a major spot we were watching to be retested. Daily time frame, you're coming back down into it. Decreasing volume so far on this, sell-off right there. Let's see how today shapes up. It looks like you're going to definitely have increasing volume. Let's see how the candlestick shapes up, though. All right. You were holding above the 9, then you just completely lost it. A big, fat, nasty gap down. Now, guys, all of a sudden, we're down 2.5%. All right, there was nothing, and then boom, it was all there at once. But now we're in the golden pocket. I'm going to say it's a buying opportunity, and that is just what I'm seeing because of, what I got to show you guys throughout the rest of the vid. We're not going to spend too much time here on the indices because that's not where the action's at. Okay, it's the major components of the indices. That is where the action's at. Golden pocket here. If you can't hold 480, guys, 473.91 incoming. But I do have to assume between 480 and 485, you have a major bottom. And then from there, you watch these above levels right there. Then we probably do shoot back up to 491 to test that. And above there, 496.60. That is that. Moving over here to SPY. All right, guys, you have not sold off so bad over here on SPY. We have holy crap on a ton of levels. We're just going to completely clean up our chart right there. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to remap this thing out, guys. On the downside, we do have those levels right there, but what stands out to me, all right, on the upside, you got 562.33, all right, so we're going to be watching that. Aside from that, guys, it does look like 559.63. That is a level of interest over here that, hey, look, price is respecting. So let's pay attention to that. Actually, here on the 15-minute time frame, let's watch that instead. All right, 560.72. There's the low of this candlestick right here. I like that level instead. That is what we watch. If price decides to start bouncing here, 560.72. That's what we're paying attention to. Golden pocket action right now. You're right here at the 0.786 fib. This is where buyers step in if they're going to step in. And then we get the bounce up here to retest 560.72 and 562.33. But hey, underneath 557.80, we are targeting 555.83. That is where we could trade down to. Quite frankly, you do have this, little 15-minute bullish divergence going there on the RSI. I do think you're about to get a bouncy and revisit these levels up there. Okay, maybe it's a dead cat bounce, but I think downside is limited. Maybe you come over here and you have a major bounce incoming. Okay, IWM, guys, things are still looking good, but you are starting to cool off. All right, after 5 days of gapping up, you're getting your first gap down day. Boom, bop, bing, boop, pow. All right, where does it happen? Right here at 227.13. All right, high of day was 224.86. You got no. High of day today was 226.64. I was going to say that was yesterday. Guys, you got like $1 within $1 right there of hitting our target. Within honestly like 50, 60 cents. Thing, hey, all right. You had a straight shot up there. I didn't think it was going to happen, but look at that thing. This thing's a monster in the making. New all-time high is coming. I just think you're going to start cooling off here on small caps. The levels to pay attention to are going to be 228.80 under there, 219.90 under there, 218.24, 215.82, and if it really gets crazy, 6% pullback, 212.25. I don't think that's going to be happening. We're going to be focusing right here on these three levels right there. That's IWM. DIA, guys, you're just continuing higher, 413.75. That is the target. My final target that I had in the short term. Eventually, we are going to make it up here to 420. VIX, guys, you broke out of the range. You're coming up to 14.88. Daily RSI is now at 65. That is where we look for, hey, buy to bounce and for VIX to get crushed. I do think VIX is going to get crushed, even if it's something like this, okay? Just come down 13%. All right. Well, what would that do to VIX price? You'd come all the way back down here. People are like, holy crap, we got, bear trapped. But then maybe it spikes higher. And then, yeah, then SPY falls more. And then boom. All right. Spikes again. And then we wait for the same exact condition to come. And within, 2 to 3 trading sessions, the thing typically cools down. That's that. All right, so that's Mr. VIX. I'm looking for a VIX crush. That is what we're talking about. VIX crush is definitely on the table from this point on. Amazon, all right, came down to the 0.786 fib. You started getting buyers stepping in down here. I like where you're at right there. You come over here on the weekly, on the 4-hour time frame. Guys, this thing got real oversold over here. It got all the way down to 20 right now. This is where the thing likes to bottom out. Okay, at the low over there, it was a little lower. Okay, it was right over there, but this is where, even when you're getting real extended over here, where you start, putting divergence there, or you just start bouncing back like other occurrences. Okay, that's what we're watching over here, but I like where you are right now. You're retesting your, breakout zone here, breakout level at 188.65. That's your 3-year breakout level. Okay, now you're retesting it. Meta. Big down day over here. Big red day over here on Meta. You are down. All right. 4% right now. It is not the best look, but your daily RSI is now at 35. Guys, it doesn't get much lower than this. Guess what? This thing is probably going to be bottoming out somewhere between here and down here at 454.46. All right. And from the point, over the coming weeks, you're probably going to come back all the way up here to like 510. 496 to 510 is where I'm going to be targeting here on this bounce. I understand it's pretty far away from this point in time. All right. But I do think that is where you're going to be headed once you can find a bid over here. But, in reality here, you've broken the 0.786 fib. Next support is all the way down here. You have one before that. All right. I guess you could call it right there. Okay. At 463. On the dot, 463. But your daily RSI, guys, if it gets oversold over there, that's when this thing's really hitting it with a major bottom. That's not something that it's probably going to be met with buyers. All right, it's probably going to be met with buyers. That's that. All right, so that's Meta for you. Microsoft over here, 4-hour RSI. Yeah, you guessed it. Also oversold. Where you get your major bottoms, guys. I told you we have a lot of the same stuff to go over on just different charts here. Guys, I was just telling my friend like last week how we're going to say 4 to 6 weeks, we get a wave of big buying opportunities here across the board on everything. All right. And I mean it. All right. Every so long. Okay. Like, 4 to 6 weeks, I'm going to call it right here. This would be 6 weeks. You get a major buying opportunity on all of these names. Okay. And these are just the big boys right here. You're getting on Meta, you're getting on Microsoft, Amazon. All right, come over here to Google. You got the same exact thing coming down to 179.95. You come down to that key level, 4-hour RSI is oversold. Like, you get this opportunity, every so often. You could just keep taking advantage of the same exact setup, same exact oversold conditions on the companies, are going to bounce back. All right, whether you do it with shares or just calls with, a lot of time on them. You could just keep running the same exact move over and over and over and over again on all of these different companies, all right? And, a lot of the times they present themselves at different occasions, okay? But sometimes it's all at once like this, and if you're ready for it, you could take advantage of it. But if you're not ready for it, you can't take advantage of it. Be ready for it. These continuously come around, and I think these are the best opportunities we get in these markets for consistent, consistent money coming in. I really do think you could just keep, to run it back. Give it a few years. You'll have hundreds of these opportunities. That's that. A lot of compound there, all right? So that's Goog. Apple over here, guys, isn't really getting oversold or anything like that, but you break 225.77. Next support is down there at 220.22. On the upside, we watch 233.08. Above there, 237.23. All right, now we're going to come over here to the chips. We're going to start off here with the SMH. I am going to point out the same thing we've been talking about. It is also oversold over here on the 4-hour RSI. You're coming down into your 250.85 to 255.92 demand zone. And I do think you're probably going to hold it. You're probably going to get buyer stepping. You're probably going to, catch your balance back up to, we're going to say 268.14-ish up there. Okay. When this thing gets oversold, you typically see it start bouncing. All right, moving on to MU over here, you got the same exact thing going on. You are in the golden pocket. Your 4-hour RSI is underneath 25. You're down here at support. If you put in a hammer candlestick, it's not going to be the worst look. But what I do want to focus on here is, hey, daily RSI, you're coming into a spot where you do typically start to see this thing bounce. This is a big time period here. That's over 500 days, guys. That's a year and a half right there. You have holding, been finding buyers every time you have this condition being met. And I do think this thing is, this time right here is no different. This thing is likely about to snap back, and I will be targeting 130.50 here on the rebound. That is my target. Okay, so bringing it from here to here, there's some, what I consider, hey, a free money opportunity over here. Nvidia, guys, you are getting this thing to be oversold down here, and hey, this is where you typically get the big snapbacks. All right, and now you're getting it intraday. That's a $13 rebound in 1.5 days. Are we gonna see the same thing? We very well could. Okay, we very well could. We literally have TSM earnings going on tomorrow. All right, if we do end up seeing those things, be positive, and we see a market-wide rebound here, Nvidia is a prime candidate to come right back up to this 128 level, and big rebound candidate over here for me. All right, 115.82 to 119.32. I think this is where you want to be buying Nvidia for that then next move up, and that's that. Moving on to AMD, guys, you're coming down into your into your uptrend here. You got your golden pocket as well there. Okay, what I do want to point out here is, again, the 4-hour RSI is getting into oversold territory, and yeah, that's typically where we start seeing it rebound from. Even if it's just going to be a little rebound, or you go a little further and then you rebound a little bit. All right, I think we probably do get a 3 to 4% pop from around here, which would be us coming back up to like 170-ish right there. You do not find buyers here at 172. Underneath 172, we were watching this golden pocket between 161 and 166.85. If you cannot hold 161, then we're paying attention to 153.64 on the downside. If you get down there, you're probably revisiting 148.78. Moving on to SMCI. Coming down here into your demand zone, all right, your breakout zone we got over here. This is your breakout level, 822.54. Your 4-hour RSI is, yes, also getting oversold. Somewhere down here, guys, between here and this uptrend, this trend line right here, you got a $20, really thing here, 800 to 822.54. You're probably going to get buyers stepping in for a big move. All right. That is what I think is going to be the case down here, whether it comes in the form of some consolidation and then a move up, just like that as well, or you just start snapping back from here. I think it's probably incoming. Okay. All right. How big of a move, you say? 100 to 150 bucks. That's that. TSM, guys, earnings is tomorrow, so premiums are going to be juiced. But hey, all right. If I had to take a guess at this is it's going to get a move to the upside, but all right, I don't care which way it goes. If it comes down here, I'd like to buy it around here. Okay, 160.78. That's a big break and retest level over here on the weekly chart. And if we retest that, I think it's going to be defended by buyers. So if we, really get the opportunity, this daily RSI would be down here, in place it was last time. All right, and that's where the real opportunity is if you get the gap down. But you do have to gap down like 7-8% at that point to get down there. That's a ways away. All right, I think it's much more likely that we rebound here and come retest 184.86 on the upside here, instead of that. But hey, I'm prepared for either situation. All right, if it gives me that, I'll play it. Here, I'm not interested in it. You're just buying juice premiums on something like I'd much rather go play Amazon. All right, all of these other opportunities I just went over, I think they're better than TSM right now. All right, I just showed you MU. I just showed you Nvidia. These things are prime. All right, they're really good right now. They are in a prime spot for opportunity. Bitcoin pulling back, which means the miners are probably going to be pulling back. You're rejecting off of the golden pocket. All right, we're watching 63794 on the pullback here, but if it doesn't hold, guys, 59313 is really the only level that that's where the structure's at right down here. There's nothing going on right there. All right, CLSK, guys, stalled out at the top of the range of 2015. no, surprise there. Over at the 0.618 fib, 0.618 fib was at 20, just about 25th. Your top high of the day was 2049 within a cent. All right. No surprise there, but now we're watching 1842. Underneath 1842, we watch 1656. The golden pocket is between 16 and 17. That's where you look for buyers to step in. That's going to be your next opportunity over here in CLSK. Yes, we will run it back. All right. We've, been able to run this for a very long time here in this range, and we're going to keep doing so as long as we are given the opportunities. And one of these times, it's going to explode. I think on the next time, it's probably going to explode. Mara. All right, same thing. We did finally get the explosion. If you come back into 2308, there's your opportunity. You're stalling out right here at the 0.618 fib. If you are playing something like this, you always want to be taking profits here when it tests that 0.618 fib. This is the start of the golden pocket. The opposing side is going to step in there if they're going to step in. 2308, that's what we're paying attention to. And underneath there, 2137, which aligns with your golden pocket down at 2066 up to 2210. We'll call it 2070 to 2210. That's where you look for buyers to start stepping in over there. 2308 specifically, though, that's what you want to say. All right, coin guys, you are stalling out here at this downtrend. If you pull back into 236.04, that's your break-in, retest level right there. If you can test that, that would be ideal. But other than that, guys, you do have, boom, golden pocket will be down here. All right, just like you bounce back from that golden pocket right here. You now have the next one, which will be starting at 226, but I think 236.04 is going to hold. That would just be, what I think is going to happen there. Riot also stalling out at the top of the range there. Look for a retest of 1117 and this downtrend. That is that. All right, moving on to just a few, things you could pay attention to, guys. Cat above 364.43, watch for 381.03. I think it is then going to, 404.10. All right, D King. I don't necessarily like how this looks, but I will say, it broke out here. You had 2.5 weeks right here? 2 weeks over here of range. You broke out for 2 days. All right, 2 days versus 14 days of range. I think it's probably going to hold. Okay, probably going to hold and you get buyers stepping around here. Just my thoughts, just my opinion. No financial advice will be given here on this channel. And that is that. All right, coming into Upstart. Upstart, guys, we're watching this 2687 to 2897 zone on the, pullback here. That's what I'm paying attention to over there. All right. Target, still not looking all too bad. Above 155.80. You watch 162.21, but if you do end up pulling back into 150.79, that is your breakout level right there. Look for the retest. Look for buyers to defend that. All right, guys. That's really it. That's all I'm really focusing on. SoFi, I will point out, now that you've ran up here, all right, look for the pullback. Expect the pullback. Okay, we're now at resistance here, your horizontal resistance. This would be the neckline of this potential inverse head and shoulders pattern. If you pull back here, it's very similar to what we got going on over here on Roku, where, we look for the bounce. And then once it came up to horizontal resistance there, or not Roku. What are we talking about? Uber, this is it. All right, we looked for the move up to horizontal resistance, and then boom, it could be just trading flat for a few weeks as it pulls back and puts it in that right shoulder. I think that is what we now see, the opportunity here for SoFi. All right, if you pull back into the $7 level, maybe $6.67, things get really crazy. All right, and that is where you get to run it back over there. Golden pocket is going to line with $6.67, but $7, that's where I'd like to see defend on that pullback. That's that. All right. With that being said, guys, if you did like the video, guys, please remember to actually like the video. There are a crap ton of returning viewers. Most of the viewers are returning viewers at this point. All right. We average like 2,000 to 3,000 views per video. Do the math. There's a lot of you guys. Okay. We're going to say like 75% of you guys were always returning. Okay. That does mean, there's a lot of you guys that could be leaving likes and somehow we still don't end up with like, 1,000+ likes. Guys, it would be crazy if we ever could get 1,000+ likes. Guys, let's do it. All right. So yeah, if you have anybody who you think benefit off of this content and the, market prep that we offer 6 days a week, hey, feel free to share that video. I would appreciate you very much. Check out the links below. Check out the Twitter, Discord if you want to come trade with me. And with that being said, everybody have a lovely rest of their day and peace.